everyone, welcome to CryptoData. So we're going to give it a couple minutes and then we're going to go ahead and start this live stream and just go over the market overview and basically what's been happening. Hey, how's it going, Amir? Good to have you. Glad to see we have some people coming in. Hey, Brandon, how's it going, man? Good to have you. Hey, NC Gamer, good to have you, man. Always good to see some familiar faces in here. And Dylan, what's going on? The topic is actually just basically market overview. So I'm just going to go over, what's been going on and just kind of, what's been going on with Bitcoin and kind of what I see going forward after what happened today. So just kind of like a recap. I made a video earlier today, but just kind of going over what I think is going to happen in the future. And Amir, I know what you mean, man. January, it's January usually, when we have this this decline in cryptocurrencies, we have it every January, and yeah, it's always nice if you know about it ahead of time so you can keep some fiat, ready to invest whenever these dips do happen. And Sergi, what's going on, man? Good to have you here. And Amir said, would have cashed out last week. Do you think BTC will drop to 8.8K? So, it's hard to say. We did have this drop here where we hit 9,450. This is on the hourly chart for Bittrex, but we have this strong bounce off of 9,500, and right now it looks like that may have been the bottom. I mean, we're sitting at about 10,700, and you can see a lot of whales were buying this up. And then a couple hours ago we had another bounce here off a low of 9,650. So it almost retested this 9,500 level and then bounced again. You can see how this this candle, basically called Dragonfly, it's most of that volume accumulated back towards the top. So it's almost signs of a reversal. I don't want to call it a reversal, but that's always good candles to see. Whenever the higher portion of the candle is on the top, versus the bottom. So it tells you there's more buying towards the top, if that makes sense. But yeah, so right now, just looking at it, I don't want to say anything, to confirm it, but it's looking pretty good so far. So I'd give it another day or two to solidify exactly what trend we're going in. Some people say we're going sideways. Some are saying we're going up from here. Others are saying we may retest that 9,500 level, or like you're saying, in the 8,000s, mid 8,500 or so. So if you want to be on the safe side, I'd give it a couple days to see. And then Brandon is here again. Hey, what's going on, Brandon? 2 Brandons in one show. How about that? And then Leandro, what's going on? Good to have you. And Amir said that's what I'm thinking as well by just looking at the candles. Yeah, so the candles looking really bullish right now. And again, we've seen some good action, some bounces off the lows. So it's good action right now. I picked up a little Litecoin actually because that does seem to be performing well. But yeah, with that, let's actually go into the coin market cap and see exactly what's been going on with all the coins. So right now you have most of the coins are down, but they are up from their lows from today. So if you look, I mean, Ethereum's almost back up over 1,000. We have Ripple at $1.18. We have Bitcoin Cash 1,800. Cardano's 58 cents. Litecoin's $182. I know that was about 150. It went to a low of. And then Neo is 128. I believe that low was around $100 today, so it's had a nice little bounce. And then just looking below at a couple of the others, Tron, that 5.5 cents right now. I know a lot of people are buying Tron. I'm kind of indifferent about it. So, and then others we have are VeChain's at 481. We have Kucoin shares are at $10, so they were nearly over 20 a couple days ago. And then we have Dragon Chain at 289. So, a lot of these coins are still down for the day. It's kind of I think people are unsure, what's going to happen with Bitcoin right now, if this is going to be the bounce or if we're going to continue downward. So kind of wait in until, the other markets wake up and see exactly what happens with those. But let's see what everyone's saying. So Quinn says, heard CryptoNetics is a good investment platform. Can you do a video about CryptoNetics moving away from all those lending platforms? So Quinn, I actually haven't heard of CryptoNetics. I'll have to check that out and then get back to you on that. But yeah, I'll do some more research and definitely check it out. And then Amir says, what coins have you picked up? So Amir, the coins I've picked up so far, honestly, I took about half to fiat, just waiting for further dips. And then I bought, right now I'm on the safer route. I'm just holding some Litecoin right now. Still holding a little fiat, but picked up some Litecoin because it seems to be a good performer, kind of like a hedge. And then right now I'm still holding Dragon Chain. So that one's been rank 40, through all this. So it's been holding up steady. And then I also have Z Classic. So I have a little bit of Z Classic. It's about $132. So still really good price to buy at right now, actually. Because they do have, that Bitcoin private fork coming up. And they recently announced on their Twitter that they're working on their couple updates they have, and then they'll announce the fork. So still not set in stone when the hard fork date's going to be announced, but yeah, they're definitely working hard on that. So those are the coins I'm holding right now. And then I also have Proc, so Pro Currency, if y'all haven't heard about that one. Basically one of the leading guys on Shark Tank, he is going to start advertising for Proc. He basically bought Pro Currency and is really supporting it. And I believe January 19th, he's really going to start promoting it on national television stuff, and it's going to be promoted on a lot of news networks. So when this happened, it went up to about 14-15 cents, and I bought a little bit there. So I think it was definitely some, very bullish going into the 19th. And then, from there, if he really commits to promoting it and advertising it, because he does have a lot of capital, then, I could see it, going, 5 times from here up to 40 cents or 50 cents. So, definitely looking at that. And then people are talking about the total supply as well. Circulating supply is 96 million and total supply is 15 billion. So I don't think the total supply is actually 15 billion. I think that was like a mistake that they made here because it's so different. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But right now the circulating supply is 96 million. So there's still a lot of room for growth there. So it's just one I'm keeping an eye on because it does have potential. But as of now, those are the only coins I'm holding. I'm not really trying to invest too much, but right now I definitely recommend nibbling, of course, at a lot of these coins because they are pretty cheap right now compared to where they were even a couple weeks ago. So, and then let's see, NC Gamer, sounds like you're far from the mic. NC Gamer, let me see if I can adjust it real quick. Hold on. Okay, is that any better? Do I sound a little bit louder now? I adjust the gain on the mic. Let's see, Brandon says Electroneum didn't drop as much. Strong support, hopefully a good sign. Yeah, Electroneum, I know a lot of people, are looking at that. And then 19HR41 says RIP BitConnect. HR, let me actually give you a, I've seen you in here, let me give you a wrench. Yeah, and for those who don't know, BitConnect did shut down. I have an article pulled up here I mentioned in my previous video today. And basically what happened was they halted their lending and exchange platform. They basically shut it down. And the reason for that, they mentioned a couple reasons here, which I think are BS. But they said the continuous bad press has made community members uneasy and created a lack of confidence in the platform. We have received 2 cease and desist letters, one from Texas State and North Carolina. Basically legal problems, and then DDoS attacks. So I think they're coming up with excuses. I personally think, they were planning this for a while, and some people are actually saying that BitConnect may be one of the problems, one of the contributions for the drop in Bitcoin. So I think that maybe BitConnect started unloading a lot of their Bitcoin, that they got from their customers, and they started unloading it for this exit scam. And and I think that had some something to contribute for what we saw with the Bitcoin drop. So again, they say they're refunding everyone, but that's in BitConnect tokens. And as you've seen, the BitConnect tokens right now, I mean, I think they dropped nearly 90%. I don't know what they're at right now. Okay, they're even more, 91%. They dropped to $24, and you saw this huge drop. So really, I don't even know if people can access the exchange right now. So, I mean, once people cash in their tokens, it's basically going to be nothing. So, yeah, you know, I never liked BitConnect. I always thought it was a Ponzi scheme. I hope, you know, I hope none of y'all got into it. If you did, you know, I hope you didn't invest too much into it, or only invested what you could afford to lose. But yeah, that's definitely unfortunate for everyone who was in it. But again, you know, always be careful about these lending platforms, because you never know when they're going to stop, and you know, it's high risk, high reward. So I just stay out of them completely, because I don't like to mess with those. Let's see, NC Gamer, I'm now sitting at 135 Z Classic, just smiling and waiting. That's right, you know, eventually they're going to announce the hard fork, and we're going to see it rise again above 200, go up to 3. You know, I'm aiming for $300 for Z Classic. Amir says the same, super indifferent about Tron. I picked up ICX, LTC, and Neo, though on Neo's ICO, like Deep Brain Chain, looks like there's a lot of pump and dump coins. Looking at the chart, and typical pump and dump, same like LTC. Yeah, so that's good. You know, Neo's definitely a good coin to pick up. They've been doing great. A lot of people, you know, are calling for $500 Neo, you know, in a month. Basically, it's kind of like, if y'all don't know, Neo is like the Ethereum for basically, you know, the Asian markets. And you know, a lot of coins that have done really well, like Deep Brain Chain, a couple others that are, you know, based on the Neo blockchain, have gone up, you know, 5, 10, 20 times since their ICO price. So it's definitely a good investment, and it's, you know, gained a lot of attention recently. So I believe its high was around $190, I believe, 185, 190. So it's definitely a good opportunity with that. And Amir says, I'll pick up some Z Classic then. Totally forgot about picking that up. I'm too diversified at the moment. And that's another thing, Amir. You know, being diversified, it's good, but you don't want to be too diversified where you're forgetting what coins you're holding. Because I kind of did that a couple days ago, and I had to sell some coins because I was in way too many. I think I was in 6 or 7. And I only recommend being in 2 or 3, 4 max, but I would say 3 is the sweet spot. And, you know, find some good coins to be in, but a lot of people just want to trade. So they just want to go in and, you know, they just want to trade whatever they can, because they like that rush that they get from trading. But a lot of the times, the best trade is no trade. So, you know, if you're holding on to some safe coins, just keep holding on to them, you know. And because with how volatile cryptocurrencies are, you know, you don't want to really be throwing darts and just hoping that one coin's going to go up. You want to have some fundamentals behind it and some technical analysis behind it as well. And then, you know, of course, any news, any projects coming up that make it a good investment. So that's always something to keep in mind when you're picking coins out. Let's see. And Amir, I'm gonna make you a moderator, man. You've been in here a while. Quinn, he said everything crashed since BitConnect crashed. Yeah. So yeah, Quinn. Basically, I mean, when BitConnect exited, you know, everything was already going down, and I think it just kind of added fuel to the fire. So, NC Gamer said my mic sounds the same. So let me actually, here, hold on. Let me adjust the settings real quick. So let me see if, okay, does that help any? Hope my voice sounds a little bit louder. Let's see. Olive, the sound is fine. Olim says the sound is fine. Okay. Thanks, Olim. And good to see you in here, Olim. I haven't seen you in a live chat. I'll make you a moderator. And then Brandon says, I agree, Scam Connect. And Amir said the same with RPX, QLC, chart-wise. Most of the coins just dump on the same time frame almost. And then Sean says, did you get your BitConnection coin out? BitConnection coin out. Sean, I was never in BitConnect. You know, I don't like to be in those lending platforms, so I never promoted it, or I was never for it or anything. So I hope, you know, whoever was in it, you know, they didn't lose too much. But yeah, I was never in it. Amir said no ITC. Okay. And then Quinn, did not get back my BitConnect site. Cannot even open. Well, I'm out of those lending platforms. Are you in any? Quinn, no, I'm not in any. You know, I feel it's safer just to stay out of them completely. I just like to know where my money's going. And my official sub data. Hey, what's going on, man? Good to have you here. And then my official says just waiting for Bitcoin to go back up. Yeah, I think we all are. Right now it's 10,500. It's actually shown some resistance at this 11,000 level here. We can see these wicks kind of go just to about 11,000, and then these past three here, and then they kind of fall back down. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that resistance line here so y'all can see what I'm looking at. But basically, yeah, about this 11,000 level, that's where we've seen some resistance on the hourly chart. So hopefully we can get above this 11,000, then become support, and then we can keep moving higher from here onto this previous, resistance of about 12,000, and then we'll just, keep going up from there. Let's see. My official says loading up on GM contracts. Yeah, Genesis Mining is something I'm in. So if you don't know, Genesis Mining, they're basically like a cloud mining service. Personally, I think they're one of the most reputable. So you can go check them out on their website. And basically they pay out daily. So they're all out of contracts at the moment, but just follow them on their Twitter and you can get updates. NC Gamer says, oh, damn, I'm in 12 coins. Yeah, NC Gamer, it's good to be in a lot of coins, but again, if you want to, diversify, just try to keep it to 4, 3 to 4, because 12, I mean, unless you're a long-term investor and, for like a year or more or something, then, I recommend keeping it low. I personally like to trade, I don't really necessarily day trade, but I don't like to hold coins for too long, so maybe a week, 2 weeks. So I don't like to have too many, because I don't like to keep track of that many coins. So it's all personal preference, but that's just my opinion. Amir said, after we get back to the bull market, I'm going to cut off majority of my coins. Learn that through this. Changing the way I trade for sure. Yeah, it's good. Always take profits on the way up, and just always remember, set stop losses, or even just kind of set mental stop losses if a coin gets below a certain price when you're going to sell it. But yeah, always make sure to take profits, or at least take half profits when coins, double, triple, or do go up a significant amount. And Sean said, how can I get my Windows wallet to sync so I can send BitConnect coin to an exchange and sell it for Bitcoin? Sean, I'm not too sure how you can do that personally, because I haven't had any experience with those, with BitConnect coins. I definitely, Google that, or maybe if they have a FAQ on their website, if you can, maybe they'll tell you how to do that. And then NC Gamer says, seen pics going around Twitter where an attorney in Houston is opening a lawsuit on 5 YouTubers who promoted BitConnect. Wow, so actually I'm actually near Houston, near the Texas area. So I'll have to check that out and see exactly what's going on with that, because I know Trayvon James, he was announcing, there are a lot of people saying that they're gonna sue him and stuff, and I don't know the legality of it. But yeah, I mean, I definitely watch out, if I was promoting BitConnect, so just be careful on that. And then, yeah, Sean, definitely, I guess try to sell some if you can't. Hopefully it'll go back up for you. Brandon says it's a buyer's market now. That it is. Sky City, this big correction was healthy, folks. This needs to happen. Buy the dips, sell the tops. Scared money won't make money. That's right, Sky City. Right now, I was mentioning earlier in my previous video, Carter Thomas, he's a popular YouTuber, and he basically was saying, when there's a time when people say these are sale prices, and then there's a time when no one's talking, and that's the time right now, and that's when you need to start buying, buy the fear, basically, because everyone's scared now, and we've had these constant declines, and now when everyone's scared and not really doing anything, that's when you need to take advantage of it. So again, not financial advice, just my opinion, but on some of these dips, maybe like if you're holding some fiat, maybe use 30-40% of that fiat to buy some right now, and then if it dips again below 9,500, or below 10,000, then maybe nibble on some more, and then if we do hit that $8,500 level, maybe buy some more. But again, always average down when you're buying these dips and stuff, and always try to have some fiat in reserve so that you can take advantage of these low prices. Let's see. Jonathan says, I sent someone who invested in BitConnect, and then the BCC main page that had the announcement that lending and internal exchange, they told me, no, it's just FUD, just hodl and reinvest. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't really I'd be careful with BitConnect coins right now. I wouldn't buy them and and all that. Because yeah, it's not looking good for them at all. So I'll definitely stay away from that. Olim says, any idea why Utrust is holding strong? I had a few grand just for the sake of diversity, but wasn't expecting such a strong resistance. Olim, I'm not sure why Utrust is holding strong. Let me actually check it out and see what's going on with it. So wow, Utrust is up 40% right now. I did not know that. So, you know, that's a good question. I'm not too sure why it's up. I know that, you know, of course the name and everything, people like the name, but I know a lot of people have been talking about Utrust, and they do have some projects in the works. I'm gonna have to check their Twitter and stuff to find out. Let me see if they do have a Twitter actually. And I don't know if they made some news announcements or what happened. It says they retweeted something. Huobi Pro launches DTA and Utrust on January 17th. Will be available from 14. So so this right here, Huobi Pro, I believe that's a Korean exchange, and it says they're gonna launch Utrust on their website or on their exchange. So I think that's some big news right there, and that was 12 minutes ago. So I think this may be one of the reasons why it's popping. I don't know if it was actually holding up strong before that. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, it has been on a steady rise, but again, just the past couple hours, it's been rising. So maybe some insider information. They knew they'd be listed on the exchange and they were buying it. But yeah, I would say that's definitely something to contribute to it. So yeah, thanks for bringing that to my attention. I did not know Utrust was up right now. Let's see. NC Gamer says, I have a medium-sized mining farm. I hope I mine what's profitable at that time and store them is why I'm so many. Oh, okay. Well, that's good, NC Gamer. I mean, if you're mining, that's a different story, actually. So I mine some coins as well, but it's through Genesis Mining. But that's always good for mining coins, like for long term. If you're just going to hold them, then yeah, I definitely recommend that. I mean, mining coins is great. And again, it's a great way for passive income, just for holding for long term. So you kind of get that long-term returns as well as trading for the short term. So that's good. I mean, in that sense, diversity is definitely good. Sky City said, FYI, keep a allotted amount of tether on hand for the dips. I personally keep 25% of my holdings for moments like this. And then Sky City, that's super good, man. That's definitely smart, and yeah, always keep some in fiat. And then he said, RIP BitConnect, if you had it in your holdings, let this be a lesson to learn from. Do your homework on coins before pulling the trigger. Exactly, just always do your research and just weigh out the risk reward and only invest what you're willing to lose if you do get involved in those lending platforms, which I do not recommend. Jonathan says, have any tax advice, and if so, do you keep track of all your trades? So Jonathan, for tax advice, so I'll tell you that I'm no tax professional by any means, and this is not financial advice at all or investment advice, but from what I've heard for taxes, at least for the US, and I want to say for Canada or the UK, one of those. Basically, if you held a coin for less than a year, that's short-term trading, and you're taxed once you convert it, or you're taxed on every, I guess, trade after you make a profit or loss. So for example, if you sent Bitcoin to an exchange and then you traded that for a coin, let's just say Tron. Then you sold Tron for Bitcoin, and then you use that Bitcoin to buy Ripple. Well, that selling for Tron back to Bitcoin would be a taxable event, and you'd have to pay taxes on those gains if you made any. And then once you sold your coins, like you transfer them back to Coinbase, and then you sold that for fiat, that would be another taxable event, and you would get taxed based on your income. So I believe if it was, I don't know, if it was, I think less than 80,000, you were taxed like 35%, and if it was over 80,000, it was 45%. Don't quote me on those numbers, but I think generally that's what's going on. And then if you kept it for more than a year, like if you held a coin for more than a year, then it's long-term gains. It's considered long-term gains, and I think that's taxed at 15 to 20%. So that's currently what's going on with taxes, from what I understand. Again, I'm not a tax advisor or anything. But from what I understand, I think that's kind of the gist of it, of how taxes are working right now, at least for the United States, and I believe it's the UK. Sky City said, sell crypto to other crypto people for cash. It's off the books then, no tax. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, of course, there's always ways around it. I wouldn't, probably recommend just you know, following the tax laws. But again, you know, everyone has their own different ways. So yeah, just, you know, I guess just whatever everyone wants to do. And then Quinn said, heard from one YouTuber that Bitcoin might reach about 77,000 to 6,000. What effect would that have on the market? Like people who are doing mining like Hashflare and Genesis. So Quinn, that's a good question. Basically, if Bitcoin drops back down to say, you know, 7,000 or 6,000, basically what that would do for mining, of course, it would make the profitability a lot less. So, you know, instead of, I mean, you know, you'd be getting paid probably 50% of what you get paid now. So I would say that for Bitcoin, I mean, that would matter a lot because basically the transaction fees cost a lot for Bitcoin. So if you're not making that much profit, then you probably wouldn't get payouts for a longer period of time because you know, the profit wasn't as much. So it would take you longer to make that profit and to make that payout ratio. Like for Genesis mining, for example, it would take you longer to meet that threshold of a payout. So I think that would be a factor. And then as far as others, I'm not sure how that would do like difficulty wise, but again, I think just, you know, the profitability would be less. So if it got to a point where it wasn't profitable, then again, your contract would be null and void basically. But I think that, again, hopefully this previous resistance holds, you know, or previous support holds about 9,500. And then, you know, we keep rising from here and just kind of steadily increasing, you know, over this 11,000 resistance and then keep going past 12,000. NC Gamer said, yeah, I have a nice little setup. Got 110 GTX GPUs and 40 AMD GPUs. That is quite the setup, NC Gamer. Good for you, man. That's definitely some good mining power there. And Simon says, how do I sell my coin in the US? I live in Nigeria. Please suggest me any exchange that would allow traders from other countries to sell. Kindly reply. Simon, for Nigeria. So that's a good question, actually. I'm not too familiar with how it's run in Nigeria, and you know, because I'm sure you can't sell it in Nigeria. I think the same is with Canada. I want to say they can't sell it there. So I mean, possibly, I don't know if you know someone in the US, perhaps, and maybe work something with there. But yeah, right now I don't really know a way you could do that. I would recommend looking on Reddit or you know, typing it in Google, and I'm sure there's a forum with people living in other countries that can't sell their cryptocurrencies. And ScoopView says, luckily I did not invest much in BitConnect. I now have some coins, but they are in the red except for my Denta coin and Dent, who are starting to rise. Yeah, Dent is actually pretty good. I noticed that was on Kucoin, and that's been doing pretty well, so that's awesome. And then NC Gamer says, have you seen the video of Jay's 2 cents put up round about chewing out crypto miners? I did not, NC Gamer. I'll have to check that out, actually. I'll have to see what that's about. And Jonathan says, I hear you, and wouldn't someone be investigated for 70,000 plus for some of the people in crypto? A lot of other YouTubers don't seem to pay taxes from what they say. Yeah, so Jonathan, that's a good point. So about like taxes and everything, I was thinking about this and about, you know, people like reporting taxes and stuff. And if you're making, you know, because there's some good money to be made in crypto. So if you're making 70, 80,000, 100,000 or more, you know, and you're like transferring that over to your bank and stuff, I mean, that's going to put up some red flags. And more often than not, you know, those are going to be the people who are going to have a higher chance of getting audited. You know, when they see that amount of money being, you know, coming into your bank. So again, you know, eventually it will catch up to them, people who aren't reporting taxes. So I personally recommend just reporting the taxes and just, for example, if you know you're in that higher tax bracket where you're going to get taxed 45%, then just mentally or, you know, physically make a separate bank account, and just because you can have separate bank accounts. You can have like a checking, savings, and then like something else. Just make a separate one and just put your profits in there and just don't touch them. And then, or at least, you know, hold like 50% of them in that, so that you can pay off those taxes if it comes down to that. So that would be my recommendation, just to be on the safe side. You know, just take half of whatever your profits are, just put them in a savings account, because you don't want to have to, you know, pay $50,000 in taxes or something and you not have it because you spent it all. So yeah, I just recommend doing that. It's the safest bet. But again, everyone's going to do their own thing, but just to be on the safe side. And then ScoopView said, and I hope PRL and APPC will rise. I have good hope. Yeah, I heard some stuff about those. I think it was APPC. I believe that's AppCoin. Let me double check on that one. Yeah, AppCoins. So I know a couple of YouTubers are on that. You know, and I know it had a somewhat of a good rise, but I think its ICO price was 240 if I'm not mistaken, and right now it's about 138. So it could be, you know, a good rise on it. But I'm personally not in it. But again, you know, it's one of those kind of risky plays. But yeah, it does have potential though. So hopefully that does rise back up. And then Inti Gamer said there's ways around reporting everything. What you need to be scared about, not reporting, is what you convert to fiat. Yeah, so yeah, that's the big thing, you know, just again converting to fiat. That's when yeah, if you convert stuff to fiat, then of course you need to make sure to report that, because that's kind of, you know, I mean, that's recorded and that's easily identifiable. So definitely good there. But with that, I'm actually going to go to let's talk about some other stuff. So basically, I already mentioned this in my other video. You know, China's Alibaba is talking about launching their own cloud mining platform, because we were talking about cloud mining. And so again, this was some good news. It was published earlier today, probably about 10 hours ago. But I just want to, you know, remind everyone about that news, and it's definitely positive. I know if China does crack down hard on their mining, you know, the people that are mining there, then again, you know, Alibaba could be like I guess a fallback and have that cloud mining platform. So that could be good. And again, basically news outlets were just, you know, having different articles about why Bitcoin fell and why everything fell, and they were just telling about the China and South Korea FUD. I think that was overblown in my opinion. One of the articles I found on the theory why you know, the market did decline as much as it did is because of futures contracts. So if y'all remember, you know, the CBOE and the CME and a couple others launched futures contracts, and that was the big news. It sent Bitcoin to 20,000 and basically brought a lot bigger investors into the market. But again, you have to remember that futures contracts they're cash settled. So they don't, it's not like you're buying a Bitcoin when you buy futures contracts, just cash settled. It's like a horse bet. You're thinking the price is going to be this price at a certain amount of time, then you have to, you know, buy it at that price. You can buy it at that price basically. So these futures contracts, you can see here, expiration January 17th, 2018. This is on CBOE's website, and that's the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. But these contracts expire on January 17th, which is today. So basically what this Reddit post was saying here, that it says, the cause of today's chaos is likely large hedge funds using expiring Bitcoin futures contracts as safety nets to exploit the only sure thing in this market. A large amount of new overextended investors who are easily moved to panic sell during a flash crash. So I think this is definitely a valid point that this talks about. Basically what they talk about here is they talk about, you know, buying basically shorting, you know, a futures contract. And well, I'll go ahead and read it what it says here. So it says basically futures contracts are an agreement to buy or sell an asset like Bitcoin at a specific future date and price. So the price of Bitcoin was about $15,000 on December 10th. So basically the futures contracts, which are expiring as of today, you know, are fixed about that same price. We're fixed at $15,000. So it says the short side of those contracts must give the long side a Bitcoin, which if they don't already have, could simply be bought at tomorrow's market price, and the long side must pay the short side $15,000 in return. So basically what they did here in short is the people were shorting those futures contracts, and then they were buying up the Bitcoin. So they were hedged both ways. So whenever Bitcoin, you know, it got close to expiring, those people who basically they bought the futures contracts at $15,000, you know, per contract, and they bought they had all that Bitcoin with them. So then as the futures contracts got close to expiration, they sold all that Bitcoin, and that's what brought the price down. And then their futures contract, which was, pegged at $15,000, that difference now would be their profit. So, for example, if it's at $10,500, they're going to make $4,500 per contract. So that's what this Reddit article was saying. And it was saying that since there's so many new investors right now, that they probably bought Bitcoin when it was near $20,000, and then whenever the whale started selling, then the new people who got in thought that, who were thinking cryptocurrencies were going to go up forever, basically panic sold. They heard all the FUD going on with China, South Korea, and everything, and it was just like a perfect storm. And basically, we saw this huge drop. So I think that's what happened. That was one of the biggest contributing factors. They make a good point with these expiration dates and, kind of playing the market. So I think with that, BitConnect, all this stuff kind of added together, but I think this was definitely a good point that they were making on this article here and this post that they made. So that's always something to think about, when you have new markets coming in, like futures, ETFs are going to come, options, maybe. And so you have all these different things. There's going to be bigger whales coming in, and there's going to be more opportunity for manipulation. So just keep that in mind. Be aware of like these dates and stuff, and possibly what can affect the market, so that this hopefully is just a short-term thing. And like I said, hopefully we'll see Bitcoin continue this steady rise that it has right now. So I just want to bring that to y'all's attention, because it was something I was thinking about for why possibly Bitcoin did have its dump. Let's see. NC Gamer says most miners like me are converting crypto to Bitcoin and buying gift card through eGifter. Okay, well that's definitely good there. Olim says, let's see, it's a good one. NC Gamer says there's debit cards, however, still under know your customer policy. True, yeah, debit cards are also another gray area. Then local Bitcoins is another one. And NC Gamer also said, I ain't stressing over taxes, $100K in GPU cost alone to write off, not to mention $700 a month in power, etc. Exactly. So don't forget about those write-offs. Definitely research, tax write-offs and see exactly, how much you can deduct from your taxes, because everyone knows it's not about how much you make, but how much you can save. So how much you keep. Olim says, what is local Bitcoins? I tried to book airfare tickets using Bitcoin, but apart from Destinia.com, there's no other webpage. I didn't trust Destinia.com as I never heard about them. Okay, so yeah, I'm not too sure what local Bitcoins is. I'm sure NC Gamer can help you on that. But yeah, other than this, let me see if there's anything else. This was another funny article that I was actually came across through Twitter as well. But CNBC, they posted this article a couple hours ago that says, just one major cryptocurrency is gaining amid a market-wide sell-off, Tether. So they mentioned Tether like it's an actual cryptocurrency. And it says it's up more than 3% in the last 24 hours according to data from CoinMarketCap. One Tether token is meant to equal $1, but price checking website shows the price varying by a few cents over time. Tether has a market cap of $1.69 billion and traded at $1.04 per token. So this was actually pretty hysterical. They're saying Tether, like I still don't know. They were acting like it was an actual coin, because they saw it in the green here. And I thought that was the funniest thing. Is just a lot of media is really disconnected from the cryptocurrency reality. So they aren't really savvy on it. So that's why, take what the media says with a grain of salt. And that goes with like the China news, the South Korea news from Reuters. Because a lot of times they'll just jump the gun and they won't understand exactly what they're, what's going on. So this is just one example of that. I just want to bring that up because I thought that was pretty funny. And then here, BBC News says South Korea sways cryptocurrency prices, but how? So again, it's just like more FUD here, basically. That just they were trying to figure out why Bitcoin fell so much. But again, I mentioned those previous ways, things, the futures contracts, BitConnect, and then of course just FUD from China and South Korea. But with that, let's see what everyone else is saying. And Sky City says, whatever media says, do the opposite. Exactly, because I know another thing people have been posting a lot on Twitter is whenever the media was saying they showed you how to buy Ripple, And a couple days after they showed that that little tutorial, Ripple's price dropped, over 50% to what it is now. So that goes to show you, by the time the media gets a hold of what's happening, I mean, it's already happened. And it's just that they're adding to that hype, and eventually that hype's going to die out. It's just kind of those last few new investors who are seeing the media, immediately go, and by that time it's almost, already up. The run's almost already up. So just keep that in mind when watching the media and, other news articles and stuff. And let's see what else. And something else I was going to mention is what I like to do is I like to look at the change 24-hour. So I like to change this to like the top gainers and just kind of look at which coins are performing the best in these bear markets. So Neblio up 41%. I mean, this is a good coin. And this is actually, I believe this is from the top 100 that this takes the price change. Yeah, this is from the top 100. So, in the top 100, I mean, Neblio is doing the best right now. It's up 41%. You have QuantStamp up 14%, Ethos up 10%, Dent up 10%, Nexus, District 0x, Smart Cash. So, these coins are doing pretty good. So I like to look at these and research them more. And because that tells you if some of these coins are doing good in the bear market, then they're going to accelerate whenever we get to a bull market. So just something to keep in mind. I was, earlier today, everything was mostly red, and a couple, but like for example, these coins are only down a couple percent. So yeah, that it kind of, steer you into which coins have better fundamentals and technical analysis, and just maybe better investments, versus others. So yeah, just something I like to look at, wanted to let y'all know that, and kind of helps where to focus your attention if you don't know where to look for certain coins and which ones are like the best hedge and stuff. And that goes with too, just looking at the top 10 coins and see which ones are performing the best. Let's see. And my official says Ripple is plummeting and Bitcoin is not going up. So yeah, Ripple's been kind of, sitting around 118 right now. I believe it went under $1, if I'm not mistaken. But there's still, a lot of some positive news on it. So it's, it could bounce back. I know it's a coin a lot of people, either you like it or you hate it. So it's just one of those things. But again, a lot of banks are adopting it. So there still is potential for Ripple in the long term. So just keep that one in mind. But yeah, coins like Ethereum, I know they were doing really well whenever Bitcoin started its decline. I mean, Ethereum went up to, I believe, over $1,400 while Bitcoin was declining. And then you had Litecoin holding its gains. And then Neo was performing really well. I mean, it had that run up past 100 a couple days ago. So it's just coins like that, to look at whenever we are in these bear markets and like which ones you should accumulate. Because a lot of times the best investments aren't ones, like in the top 100 or aren't ones like, the small cap coins. Are kind of the safer bets. So again, just keep that in mind and when you're making investments. Hey, my love, can you hold on for like 2 minutes? I'm just going to end my video. Okay. What does that mean? Right. But yeah, so that's just something to look at and keep in mind when you are choosing coins. And then my official says, anyone know about Dascoin? A friend mentioned that, and I have never heard of it. Dascoin, I haven't heard of that one. Maybe it's talking about Dashcoin. Yeah, I haven't heard too much about this one. Maybe I have to look it up. But yeah, there's so many coins coming out, that it's kind of hard to sift through all of them. But again, you'll see a trend with people on Twitter and stuff talking about certain coins, and you'll get a kind of feel for which ones, everyone's focusing on, and kind of to which ones to look at and research to see if you want to, jump on that bandwagon per se, or there's other coins under the radar that have good potential. But with that, it's been about 45 minutes. If no one else has any other questions, then I think I'm going to sign off. I just want to come on here and basically, go over an overview of the market and kind of what's been going on and what my view is on it. So, hopefully again, this time tomorrow we'll see Bitcoin above 11,000. and continuing on a rise. But again, just, be careful. Try to, average down. I mean, these are pretty good prices. So again, this is just, again, the market cycle. So don't panic. Just hold. And, in March, we'll be laughing at all this right now, when Bitcoin's is a lot higher. So, yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. And yeah, thanks for coming and thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. And till next time, I'll see y'all later.